All right, if you're in the world of real estate investment, you know the feeling, right? Those endless, repetitive questions from investors. Well, today we're going to break down how you can actually use AI to automate those answers. The goal? To save your team a ton of time so they can get back to what they do best, growing that portfolio.
Does this feel a little too familiar? You open up your inbox and bam, it's flooded with the very same questions you just finished answering yesterday. It's like this constant hamster wheel that just drains your investor relations team of time and, let's be honest, energy that they could be putting into much higher impact work.
And this really gets to the heart of the tension. On one side, you've got your limited partners who, they expect instant, modern communication. It's 2024. But on the other side, your team is stretched thin, trying to juggle high-level strategy with these low-level, repetitive questions. So how do you possibly bridge that gap?
Okay, so let's really dive into this problem. Because in the super fast-paced world of real estate investment, that demand for information is just relentless, and the cost of being slow to respond can be really, really high.
You know these questions by heart. Hey, when's the next distribution? How's that Elm Street property doing? Could you explain the waterfall structure? Again? Look, they're all valid questions, but answering them one by one, day in and day out, it's a massive operational drag.
So how do we start to solve this? We're going to use what I like to call a crawl, walk, run approach. And we're starting right at the beginning with a really simple experiment. This crawl phase is all about building your very first AI assistant with, and this is the best part, zero cost and zero risk.
And the tool for this first step is something called a Custom GPT. Now, if you've ever played around with ChatGPT, you are already halfway there. The key difference here is that you can upload your own documents, think your fund's PPM, FAQs, investor updates, to create a private, expert AI that knows your business inside and out. Building this thing is actually a super simple three-step process. First, you just upload the core documents your investors always ask about. Second, you give it a really simple instruction, something like, only use the documents I've provided to answer questions. This is crucial, it keeps it from making stuff up. And third, you test it. Ask it the same questions you get every single day and see how it does. And maybe the best part of all, this isn't some huge 6-month IT project. No way. You can have a working prototype ready for your team to test in a single afternoon. It is, by far, the fastest way to see the power of this technology for yourself. So, you've built your prototype. You've seen how it can instantly pull answers to complex questions. You're sold on the idea. Okay, now it's time to go from crawl to the walk and run phase by looking at some professional, enterprise-grade tools. Now, in the enterprise world, two major players really stand out. You've got AppFolio RealmX, which is pretty much ideal for property-heavy funds because it pulls real-time data right from your property management systems. Then, for larger, more diverse portfolios, Yardi Virtuoso is an absolute powerhouse. It's built to synthesize information from all kinds of complex sources across your entire operation.
So you might be asking, why upgrade from a free prototype? Well, because these professional platforms offer so much more than just answering questions. We're talking 24/7 automated responses, deep integration with the software you already use, and audit-ready accuracy. This isn't just some handy little tool. It becomes a compliant core part of your business that actually builds investor trust. Okay, this all sounds really powerful in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? Let's quantify the real-world impact an AI assistant can have on your team's day-to-day.
10. That's the number. 10 hours. That's the average amount of time an investor relations team saves every single week with one of these AI assistants. I mean, that's more than a full workday reclaimed. Just think about it. What could your team do with that extra time?
So where is all that time saving coming from? Well, as you can see, the biggest chunk, a whopping 60%, is from automating that routine Q&A. But what's really interesting to me is the other 40%. A quarter of the time saved is from just pulling data and reports, and another 15% from automatically documenting interactions for compliance. These are tasks that aren't just tedious, they're critical to get right.
And the applications here are incredibly versatile. For a multifamily fund, the AI can instantly answer questions about capital calls. For a debt fund, it can explain really complex loan terms in simple language. And for syndicators, it's an absolute game changer. You can create a totally separate, secure AI for each individual deal, making sure investors only ever see the information that's relevant to them. All right, we've covered the problem, we've gone through a simple experiment to prove the concept, and we've looked at the powerful enterprise solutions out there. Now let's tie this all together into a clear, actionable strategy.
This roadmap lays it all out for you. Today, you crawl. Build that free prototype and just validate the concept. Next quarter, you walk. You can implement a solution like AppFolio. And then, within a year, you can be in the run phase, using a platform like Yardi for some really sophisticated portfolio analysis. It's a clear step-by-step approach.
You know, at the end of the day, this isn't just about saving a few hours here and there. In a market where investors demand instant answers, adopting these tools is about gaining a real, tangible competitive edge. Better service leads to happier investors, which leads to higher retention, which, you guessed it, can lead to faster, easier capital raising for your next fund. It's really the difference between just keeping up and truly pulling ahead of the pack.
And that brings us to one last question for you to think about. We focused a lot on real estate today, but this applies everywhere. So take a look around. What part of your world is ready for an AI assistant? Where could you automate the answers to reclaim your time and focus on what truly matters?